Hey, guess who I'm here with? Anybody got any guesses? Who's on the phone with me? Amy!
Big surprise!
It's my lovely, lovely Amy. Amy, what a nightmare your election is. Now, what it is I'm going to put HardNews TV4's video on where she's recorded her big hugs to her. And one thing at the end she said is all those people out in New York, all celebrating, all together, not wearing masks. I mean, it's good they're not wearing masks, but, you know, next week someone will get pulled up for not wearing a mask, but for the election it's fine. But what's your feelings about this whole thing? Because I tried to tell you this the other day. How can you be allowing this thing where Biden's won without all these other votes in? I mean, there's too many votes in some places. There's too many votes. Like, there's more votes than live there. But I'm talking about the postal ones or whatever it was. There's a section, and that's why they said they couldn't announce the win until next week. And then you've got Trump appealing certain areas. Like, what the hell is going on? What, they're breaking away from the press? I don't believe it. It's all part of their game. What's your thoughts?
Well, I just think the entire press is eager to call it for Biden. The press is when favors the left. They never have like Trump, and so they just want Biden to be it. That's one thing, but I do think that I think it's just election. But
how can this be that the press don't? It's like when they're giving out these figures and they're saying that Trump won it or Biden won it. You're listening to it now. We're awake. We don't care. You didn't vote. I didn't vote in mine. We don't care in that sense. But to make the people believe that Biden got in and they're all running around New York, and then next week there'll be another lot now because Trump's going to get in. I've got this big feeling that Trump is going to win.
He very well may.
Because all that has to happen is they just reject a couple of those things, recount them. Oh, there's 330,000 extra votes. Oh, Trump's won now. I really think just a couple of counties will give it to Trump. But how ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and the states have to certify the winner. And a lot of the states haven't done that yet. They have somebody.
How ridiculous is that? Did you know that? Or how ridiculous? Did you know it? Or were you thinking, oh, Biden's won, and then you've watched this video?
Right. At first, I thought Biden did win, and then I watched this video, and that's how I knew that. Well, and not just her video. I watched another video that a friend of mine is a huge Trump supporter, and she sent me a video of this young man, and he was saying, it's not over. Don't be depressed.
So how can we have it where the press and the news on all that thing? Because I mean, I wasn't that interested, but every now and again we were checking, weren't we? Because it's like, how could Biden be so far ahead of Trump?
Right. That's right. And so everybody is saying that it's not up to the press to call the winner. It's not up to the media to declare who our president is. It's a process. They can't have the votes. Then there's somebody in charge in every state that certifies that this person definitely won that state. And then what has to happen? Well, the tradition is then the president or the loser, let's say the one who didn't win, he makes a speech to concede. He says, okay, so Trump will say, I see that Biden has won, it's been nice being your president, see you later, whatever. And then that's when the new president-elect comes in and makes his acceptance speech. You never ever.
I suppose what it was is, do you think they're just playing games with us? Because they did say that they weren't going to announce the winner till next week. But then when the press gave, the media gave it to us, I was thinking, oh no, we've got Biden. But they told us it wouldn't be announced till next week.
Right.
I mean, we're so stupid, really. I mean, most of the people coming to this channel will go, I don't care. But I'm just saying, it just seems a very strange place to put. I mean, thousands of people. Yes, but Biden's in. I mean, I don't like either one, but I don't want Biden. Oh my God, no.
It's definitely worse under Biden, I do believe.
Well, that's what they're making us believe, isn't it, anyway?
Yes, at least that's what they're making us believe. He's going to crash the economies terribly. He's already.
But they're all part of the same thing, though, Amy. They're all one.
Right, but under the...
I mean, even you said you've shown people that Biden and Trump are the same person.
Right, but because you have to remember, it's theater and it's a play. It's like a play or a TV
show. Why would you want to do this to the people? What? Just everything has to be a game. Absolutely, everything has to be demonic, and everything has to be a bunch of lies.
Yeah. And keep everybody uncertain and under anxiety.
Listen, if they wanted to say that Biden was in the lead right now, but we've got the postal stuff, that's different. But they haven't.
Right. That's right. And another thing I wanted to tell you.
Because what's the point of putting a postal vote in if it didn't count?
Exactly.
Well, they don't count anyway, do they? They don't count anyway.
Right, because it's a selection. But now they're talking about getting rid of Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House and putting in a man. He is of Arab descent, I believe. He claims to be a Christian, but he's very devoted to the Muslims.
Well, isn't that strange? Because you know that if Trump and Biden aren't there, then it becomes to the Speaker of the House. And we've got the same thing right now. Like, the one thing someone said was that if Boris goes, the deputy will come along, and he is Muslim. It's like we're being are we being taken over?
This is what they're saying now here in America. I thought of your situation.
I don't mean that rudely, I don't mean that rudely to anybody. I'm just saying what looks like is happening.
Right. And we don't want Sharia law. Nobody wants that. It's very strict and tyrannical, and some people reckon that the masks is getting us used to the Sharia law. Now, under Sharia law, only the women have to cover their whole face.
Oh, right, yeah.
The men doing it too. But, so now there's some concern about Sharia law possibly coming in. Because
that's what the masks are about, isn't it? It's the same sort of thing.
Yep, it's just like it, The only difference is in those countries, I don't think the men have to cover up their face, but the women do. They have to cover their whole face. Only their eyes can peep out, I think.
Anyway, Amy, we've been going for 8 minutes. Last final words.
Oh, it's just a madhouse. And we'll just have to wait and see.
How ridiculous, though, because they told us the results were not coming out till next week. So why did the press call it?
Right. I don't know.
Is it to make people go, oh my God, no, Biden's got in? Not us, not the awake people, but there's a lot more sheeple people out there, and so forth.
Absolutely, yes.
Just another great big drama, wasting the taxpayers' money.
Yes, my sister said they wanted to be like a soap opera. They want drama. When a soap opera, if people are getting along, they're a boring couple. They want the couples that fight all the time. And it's just like this. If they can't have drama, they're not happy. So it's just theater.
Yeah, it's not the fact that you don't know which one's in at the moment. It's just the whole drama around it. It's just more of their crazy story.
Yep.
Anyway, Amy, thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome, Karen.
I'm done with Fox News, so I'm going to let y'all hear the response from Donald Trump about the media calling the presidential election for Joe Biden. Thank you for tuning into Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is November 7th, 2020, and if this isn't proof that presidents aren't elected but selected and appointed and decided behind the scenes, then I don't know what else to say. But I want y'all to hear Donald Trump's reaction to what's going on.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Just the president putting out a statement. He left the White House a little while earlier today. Clearly, they were expecting this. The Trump campaign prepared with a statement from the president. So it is a lengthy statement. We are going to read it in full since it is such a momentous occasion at this moment. So I'll start reading it. It says, quote, "We all know why Joe Biden is rushing to falsely pose as the winner and why his media allies are trying so hard to help him. They don't want the truth to be exposed. The simple fact is this election is far from over. Joe Biden has not been certified as the winner of any states, let alone any of the highly contested states headed for mandatory recounts, or states where our campaign has valid and legitimate legal challenges that could determine the ultimate victor. In Pennsylvania, for example, our legal observers were not permitted meaningful access to watch the counting process. Legal votes decide who is president, not the news media. Beginning Monday, our campaign will start prosecuting our case in court to ensure election laws are fully upheld and the rightful winner is seated. The American people are entitled to an honest election. That means counting all legal ballots and not counting any illegal ballots. This is the only way to ensure the public has full confidence in our election. It remains shocking, it remains shocking that the Biden campaign refuses to agree with the basic principle and wants ballots counted even if they are fraudulent, manufactured, or cast by ineligible or deceased voters. Only a party engaged in wrongdoing would unlawfully keep observers out of the count room and then fight in court to block their access. So what is Biden hiding? I will not rest until the American people have the honest vote count and they deserve and that democracy demands. Now, Tom, we've been hearing from more officials in the Trump camp, specifically Jenna Ellis, who's often on this network. She sent me her statement, which says media coordinated efforts are attempting to simply declare Joe Biden the president and ignore the rule of law. She went on to say, the rule of law, excuse me. She went on to say that this is not over until every vote is counted. And you do have to keep in mind, as you said, Tom, we're not calling it here at Newsmax. There's still outstanding races. There's still outstanding votes to be counted. In addition to that, there are these recounts that are supposed to happen in Wisconsin and Georgia. There's questions about Arizona. There's Pennsylvania, particularly. We heard from the president's legal team there today. They're filing several lawsuits. In addition to that, there's something before the Supreme Court in regards to that state and a 3-day extension. Some of those ballots might be thrown out after November the 3rd. They've been asked to be segregated in case the court rules that the November 3rd deadline extension of 3 days, extending it to yesterday, was not valid. So there's still a lot of questions about this. And so the Trump team is saying that declaring Joe Biden president at this point is very premature.
The exception of Michigan, all of these states that we've been talking about, the margins are razor thin. We're talking 30,000, 50,000, 20,000 votes, where some sort of systemic problem that has been raised could make a difference. But the fun is going to start really on Monday when they start filing these complaints and they start taking this matter to court.
That's true. And you mentioned that it is razor thin in most states but Michigan, but the Trump campaign and the RNC still have a lot of grievances in Michigan. And if you've seen, RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel was in that state yesterday doing a press conference about some of the evidence of fraud they say that they have found specifically in that state. There's also news today of a whistleblower in the state of Michigan working with the FBI regarding the backdating of ballots that came in, the postmarks on those to make them seem as if they were valid. And there's just questions about the statistical anomalies of votes that were found in states like Michigan and Wisconsin that came in the middle of the night that went almost 100% for Joe Biden. And in addition to that, in different states, just a lot of questions that they feel need to be resolved before you can declare either Joe Biden or President Trump the winner.
Yeah, and you know, the timing on all of this, Emerald, still certainly fascinates me. We talk a lot about media collusion with the Democratic Party, and you know, here we have the president just leaving the White House. We believe to go to his golf course to play around the golf, and he deserves to be able to do that. We have the press conference that Rudy Giuliani is going to hold in Philadelphia happening, and at the very same time, all of a sudden, all of the networks, with the exception of Newsmax, decide that this is the time that they are going to call the election. We are here at Newsmax, as I mentioned, not calling the election for Joe Biden, and I'd like to read you a statement from our management. At this time, Newsmax is not calling Joe Biden the winner of the election. The election remains very close, and President Trump continues to contest results in several states. All votes should be counted. The media should not make the determination of the winner under these circumstances.
Okay, and did y'all see all of the people in New York out on the streets, quote, celebrating Joe Biden's win? Nobody social distancing. I saw people without masks on. So, anyway, y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
On